Hey everyone, it's Joel from Geek Studios, and this is your mini charge episode for Saturday, January 10th, 2026. For as long as we've been talking about the future of cars, we've all been asking the same question: who is going to win the self driving war? We hear the same names over and over. Is it going to be Tesla, maybe Waymo, or possibly a legacy giant like Mercedes? Well, it turns out that might be the completely wrong question to be asking. For years, we've been watching these titans of the industry clash, promising us a future that always feels like it's just a few more software updates away. We've seen the slick, futuristic demos. We've also seen the very public, very messy failures. The dream of a car that drives itself has felt perpetually stuck just over the horizon. But what if the real winner of this race isn't a car company at all? What if the company that's about to dominate the entire industry is the one that's not building the car, but is instead building the brain that could end up powering all of them? This is a story of how Nvidia, a company famous for making your video games look breathtakingly realistic, is making a strategic play to become the universal standard for autonomous cars, aiming to change the entire game from the inside out. Let's dive in. To really get what's happening, you first need to understand the battlefield as it has existed for the last decade. The race to self-driving has been defined by a handful of key players, each with a radical different playbook. First, you've got Tesla, led by the ever-present Elon Musk. Tesla's strategy is an all-in on a single, bold idea: vision only, armed with a suite of cameras and a powerful neural network. Their full self-driving system, or FSD, is trying to learn how to drive just like a human does. It is completely end-to-end closed ecosystem, a strategy that mirrors Apple's playbook with the iPhone. It learns from billions of miles of driving data, collected exclusively from its own fleet of cars on the road. The hype around upcoming versions like FSD version 14 is immense, with some early users describing its abilities as almost spooky human-like. In fact, Tesla's FSD is so advanced that even Nvidia's own CEO, Jensen Huang, has called it state of the art. Then you have Waymo, which was born out of Google's self-driving car project. Waymo's approach is the philosophical polar opposite of Tesla's. They are laser focused on creating level 4 robotaxis, vehicles that can drive themselves entirely without human supervision, but only within specific, meticulously mapped out geographic zones. Their strategy is slow, steady, and methodical. It relies on heavy-duty sensor suite that includes expensive LiDAR, radar, and high-definition maps to create a redundant and engineered solution to autonomy. And while Waymo has successfully launched driverless service in a growing number of cities like Phoenix, San Francisco, and Austin, the process of expanding to new territories is incredibly slow and expensive. And finally, you have legacy automakers represented by companies like Mercedes-Benz. Traditionally more conservative, Mercedes has prioritized safety, regulatory approval, and incremental progress above all else. They were one of the first to get an officially certified Level 3 system called Drive Pilot on the road in production vehicles. This system allows a driver to take their eyes completely off the road on certain pre-approved highways, but it's often limited by speed and location, always waiting for the next green light from regulators before expanding its capabilities. For years, this was the fight: Tesla's massive data-driven vision network, Waymo's carefully engineered robotaxis, and the slow, steady march of legacy auto. Each one was a walled garden, a private club fighting for the crown. But here's the critical issue: all of them, from the most advanced Tesla to the most cautious Mercedes, are running into the exact same wall. In the world of AI, it's known as the long tail problem. You can train a car on billions and billions of miles of driving data, but it's the weird, unpredictable, and frankly bizarre stuff that messes everything up. These are what are called edge cases, those rare 1 in a million events the car has never encountered in its training. Think about a construction worker waving you through a red light, a flock of birds suddenly taking off from the road, or a bizarre, blinding glare reflecting off a wet road at sunset. How does a car handle a situation it has never seen before? Figuring out how to solve these moments safely is the single greatest hurdle holding back the widespread adoption of self-driving cars. It's the reason we've seen some very big, very public stumbles. GM's Cruise had to suspend its driverless operations nationwide after a serious pedestrian accident, a setback that forced a major company overhaul and a pause on the production of its origin robotaxi. And Ford, after pouring billions into its self-driving unit, Argo AI, decided to shut it down entirely, realizing that the race to full autonomy was far more expensive and difficult than anyone had anticipated. They pivoted to focus on more immediate driver assist features instead. The core issue comes down to a single word: trust. A car that can drive itself perfectly 99% of the time simply isn't good enough when the remaining 1% leads to catastrophic failure. And this is where Nvidia walks onto the stage, not as another car maker trying to build a better vehicle, but as the arms dealer for everyone else in this war. At the Consumer Electronics Show, CES 2026, CEO Jensen Huang made a bold declaration. Quote, "The chat GPT moment for physical AI is here," end quote. He then unveiled Alpamayo, a groundbreaking AI platform that isn't designed to take on Tesla or Waymo directly. Instead, it's designed to give every other automaker the firepower they need to complete. So what exactly is Alpamayo? It's not a car. It's a complete open toolkit for building intelligent driving systems. It includes powerful AI models, advanced simulation tools, and a vast open data sets of driving scenarios. Huang's message was simple and profound. Nvidia doesn't want to build the car. It wants to build the brain that goes inside the car. The strategy is to become the Android of the automotive world, the underlying open platform that powers the entire ecosystem. But what makes this brain smarter? The key difference is a fundamental shift from just seeing the world to actually reasoning about it. Traditional systems perceive an object, classify it, and then execute a pre-programmed maneuver. Alpamayo, on the other hand, is a new kind of model that uses what's called chain of thought, reasoning. It doesn't just see the road, it attempts to understand the context of what's happening. It can process video, determine a path, and this is the revolutionary part: explain why it made that choice. For instance, in a demo, the system might explain its thinking by saying something like, "I am moving to the left lane because the truck in front of me appears to be slowing down to park." This ability to reason through novel situations is what Nvidia claims will finally help solve the long tail problem of unpredictable edge cases. This creates another enormous advantage: transparency. Regulators and the public are deeply skeptical of a black box AI that can cause an accident with no clear explanation. Because Alpamayo can generate a reasoning trace for its decision, it offers a level of accountability and explainability that could be the key to winning both public and regulatory trust. The first car set to bring this technology to the real world will be the 2026 Mercedes-Benz CLA. It is slated to be the first production vehicle to use Nvidia's Alpamayo model, launching as an enhanced Level 2 driver assistance feature. It represents a monumental first step, combining Nvidia's immensely powerful Drive Thor computer with the Mercedes' deeply ingrained focus on safety. This includes a multi-sensor approach with cameras and radar, and their architecture often includes LiDAR for an extra layer of redundancy, a stark contrast to Tesla's vision-only philosophy, though it remains unconfirmed if the production CLA itself will ship with LiDAR. And Mercedes isn't just the beginning. NVIDIA's entire strategy hinges on a partially open ecosystem. By offering open access to its AI models and simulation tools, it's inviting automakers, suppliers, and startups to build on top of its proprietary hardware. Companies like JLR, Lucid, and even Uber are already exploring the Alpamayo platform, hoping to accelerate their own roadmaps toward level 4 autonomy. This is the versus the world part of the equation. NVIDIA isn't trying to beat Tesla with a single car. It's arming dozens of manufacturers to power hundreds of different models. So, what does this mean for the future of driving? In short, the game has completely changed. This is no longer just a 2 or 3 horse race. Tesla FSD remains a formidable powerhouse, continuously learning from an unparalleled amount of real-world data and becoming impressively capable. But with its CES 2026 announcement, NVIDIA has completely redrawn the battlefield. It has essentially validated Tesla's AI's first approach while simultaneously handing the rest of the industry a powerful, open platform to fight back. The central conflict is rapidly shifting from a product war to a platform war. On one side, Tesla is betting that its closed, vertically integrated system will create seamless, untouchable user experience. On the other, NVIDIA is betting that by empowering everyone else, its platform will become the ubiquitous standard, running on the vast majority of cars on the road, no matter what brand is on the hood. This showdown is no longer just NVIDIA versus Tesla or Waymo or Mercedes. It's now NVIDIA's open ecosystem against the world's most powerful closed ones. The question is no longer about which car will win. The real question is who will build the brain that defines the future of driving for all of us. And with the introduction of Alpamayo, NVIDIA has just made the most powerful move yet. This epic battle between open and closed platforms is really just getting started, and it's going to completely reshape the car industry as we know it. Who do you think has the winning strategy in the long run? Is NVIDIA's open platform play the right move to democratize autonomy? Or will Tesla's tightly integrated approach keep them ahead of the pack? Let me know what you think in the comments below. All right, that's your mini charge episode for today. If you enjoyed today's episode, don't forget to like and subscribe on YouTube. And if you're listening on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, tap that follow button and leave us a quick rating. It really helps the show grow. Thanks for watching. And until next time, stay charged and stay geeky.